Coming up, today's guest built the Uber of lawn care, which is now available in over 40 states in the US. You'll hear how he spent 5 years working on his business on the side and then had enough traction to leave his full-time job the last 2 years. You'll discover how he used SEO to build his business, how he expands to each new city, and how he gets his vendors to bring on new users for him. All that and so much more.
The most action-packed content from the top mobile experts. This is the App Masters Podcast with Steve P. Young.
Adjust gives you the tools you need for end-to-end app analysis. Not just the macro level stuff, but the micro details. You can identify, dissect, and leverage data trends. Just go to adjust.com/appmasters. AppRadar helps you accelerate your mobile growth through their simple ASO platform, and they set up optimized Apple search ads to help you scale up your user acquisition. Check them out at appradar.com. What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content in the app business, because I talk to some phenomenal mobile app founders out there so that we can all collectively, I just ask all the questions that I know you're asking so that we can all collectively learn from them and grow our collective businesses together. Today, I've got a phenomenal guest. He's been able to grow this business. I want to hear all about it. His name is Gene Caballero. He is the co-founder of GreenPal. So I'm gonna let Gene talk about GreenPal, but if you're looking for somebody to do your lawn, well, GreenPal it is. Go search for GreenPal in the app stores or go to yourgreenpal.com. Gene, welcome to the show.
How are you? Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Gene, where did this idea come from?
So, growing up like any kid in America, you're just kind of defaulted to mowing the lawn if you're the son, especially if you're the only son. And so just kind of did, my lawn, my mom's lawn, and did, a few neighbors' lawns in the neighborhood. And then in high school, you get a car, and how the hell are you going to pay for gas? So, you just kind of do that for money, and it just kind of did that through college. And, when I graduated college, got a job with actually a tech company, and my territory was the West Coast. And, was kind of privy to the new technologies coming out. Uber and Lyft were kind of at their infancies. And so I knew that, hey, if Uber and Lyft were going to be a valid business model, then at some point, then people were going to do the same with home services.
Did you think then, like, why? Because I'm imagining that you're probably going to start with lawn and maybe move past it. But what made you start with just lawn?
So that's what I knew.
Okay.
The landscape industry, just kind of something that I've known, growing up and working in it. So, it's just kind of like, I know the lawn business. I know the frustrations with being a homeowner and trying to find a landscaping professional. And then on the flip side, being a landscaping professional and, trying to grow your business and maintain your business. So kind of just been immersed in that kind of industry my whole entire life.
My background before I started doing apps really were marketplaces. I ran growth for a couple of different marketplaces. It's one of the hardest things to do, Gene. Like it is you got to get the end users, you got to get the supply and demand, and then you got to try to match it up perfectly. How did you end up doing this?
Yeah, so nobody really told you how hard that is. Doing a SaaS platform is like, I think it's a little bit easier than doing, a dual channel app. So,
I agree.
We just started small. We stayed really close to the first homeowners that signed up, friends and family. And, we just keep iterating our process, our app, our design and everything like that. So, just like a very slow growth and, just kind of doing the bare minimum as far as features on your app and stuff like that. So, when our app first launched, there was one thing you could do, and that was get quotes for your lawn. So on top of that, now we're basically a full-scale landscaping operating system. So start small.
Yeah, start small, and I imagine you're out in Nashville. So did you start specifically just in your locale too, your city?
Yeah, we started here just because I knew some vendors in the in the industry that owed me a few favors. So I'm like, hey, just download this and if for some reason, a bid comes up, just bid on it, just for fun. So that's the real reason that we started here and, continued to pursue it. We kind of got positive feedback from homeowners and also from vendors in the area that they kind of like the direction where we're taking it.
I know another founder who had a similar model, but for car washes. He's like, the first couple of car washes, I did it. He's like, I went to go wash the cars. And so I can it's like, okay, let me see what the demand is. So now that you got the supply side, because people owed you favors and you just had friends in the industry, how did you get the demand side to come in?
So, ironically, the first few hundred customers that we got, we went door to door. It was literally, hey, we're going to get some iPads. We're going to fill a simple, form and knock on doors and say, hey, we just launched. Looks like you need your lawn done. Would you be interested in getting quotes from local landscaping professionals? And we did that for about 3 weeks on the weekends, and we got about 50 people to sign up. And with that, we kind of just got the ball rolling. Like, hey, this is a good idea, so let's keep going. And then we did a lot of PR, and we've hitched our chain on the SEO bandwagon, knowing that our dollar amount that we take per transaction is very small. So we knew that for us to pay $20 for a homeowner would almost be impossible. So we knew PR and SEO was going to be our channel moving forward.
Did you handpick? You're like, hey, this lawn needs work. This lawn needs work. I'm going to go after these guys.
Pretty much it was just, you walk around the neighborhood, you pretty much knock on all the doors, but the ones that need it really bad, you're a little more aggressive when it comes to, hey, you need to sign up for this service or your city is going to find you.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
The fine one's good.
Yeah. You don't want to fine because they're going to charge you 10x what it should be. So.
Oh, I like that, Gene. Okay, good. I'm glad I grabbed that nugget from you. Okay, you said SEO was working well for you. And I know when we did the pre-interview type of stuff, you said SEO was a strategy that's really working for you today. Can you expound on that?
Yeah. So a lot of it has just been, PR focused heavy. We have about 3 or 4 people that do different link building campaigns. So that's just kind of what we've done, what we've used to kind of to help grow. We all did it, hand to hand, just to kind of learn the process, so we can kind of offload that to somebody and be on our business, not in our business. But a lot of those link building campaigns, infographics, pitching Hero, PR. We've done scholarships. So we've pretty much done everything that you possibly can to accumulate as many high DA links as we possibly can.
Got it. Hold on one second, Gene. Dog's barking up a storm. 1 second.
All right.
All right, I'll take that part. I'll edit all that stuff out. How have you been able to grow GreenPal organically? What are some of the tactics that you remember the most being like, yeah, doing this like really completely changed the game for us?
Yeah. Other than PR, what we knew we had to do to grow was basically give the vendors the ability to bring their non-GreenPal customers onto the GreenPal platform. We know this would accelerate our growth and it would cost us $0. So we knew that if we designed something and made it easy for vendors to grow their business, then why would they not want to bring their non-GreenPal customers onto GreenPal? So that was kind of the thing that helped us maintain our growth. And to this day, it's something that we have vendors telling us, hey, I'm 100% GreenPal now. I don't have any customers off of GreenPal. So that was probably the main thing that we did that kind of helped accelerated our growth.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, like GreenPal isn't just for you to like find some lawn service people, but it's more like for the vendors out there, it's for you to manage your clients, to figure out, maybe even get paid. Like talk about that aspect of it.
Yeah. So if you had to like dumb it down, like GreenPal is basically an operating system for landscaping professionals. Not only do we handle their demand creation, we also handle the scheduling, the route optimization, also the payment processing. So, when traditionally you'd have to go and visit a property to quote it, get with a homeowner. With us, you bid it from wherever you are. We provide the vendors with the Google aerial view, the Google street view, and square footage. And so the vendor doesn't really have to go anywhere. They can literally bid from anywhere. And also the payment side of it. You don't want to have to mow and then come back to get a check under the mat. Hopefully the homeowner left it. So there's a lot of inefficiencies that we just kind of help manage for that vendor. And so we knew that, hey, if we make the platform valuable enough, they won't do business any other way.
Got it. Are you guys doing anything beyond just lawn care? Is it like landscaping too? So if I want my backyard redone, you're going to help out with that too?
Yeah. So what we give the vendor, we gave the vendor the ability to quote any additional services that he does. So let's just say a vendor comes to your house and says, hey, Steve, you need these shrubs pruned and you need a little mulch in the backyard. They're literally able to quote that right from the app, and that'll go directly to the homeowner. So we're able to give the vendor the opportunity to upsell his services to his clients. Also, we have done fences. There's basically anything outside that you can think of has been ran and done through GreenPal.
That's awesome. When did you feel confident, or when would you feel like it was the right time for you to go beyond Nashville? So go beyond your hometown, kind of go beyond what you know, like, and expand to other cities, because you're available in over 40 states, right?
Correct. And what we wanted to do wasn't more of the monetary side of it. It was more of the feedback. We wanted, in Nashville, you service until about October, and then it starts back up in March. So we knew we needed to get more feedback to make our platform, our app more robust, more customer friendly. So we literally went to Florida because it's a year-round market. And the reason being is because we knew that we could get quicker feedback, better feedback, and feedback year-round, from our homeowners and for our vendors. So that was that. As soon as we figured out that we needed to get that crucial feedback, we went south. Got it.
And you kind of picked the city that was year round. You knew some of the vendors, so you're able to figure out, okay, I know how to get demand now, door to door, and finds. And here are the vendors that I've got ready to go to.
Yeah, and in the vendors until 2 years ago were phone calls and text messages. So that still was a hand-to-hand combat for it was for 5 years that we, hey, we need to launch a new market. Let's go to Craigslist. Let's scrape the internet and find landscaping professionals on Facebook and reach out to them and manually sign them up. And that's what we did until about 2 years ago. So wow. Yeah, it was a lot of hand-to-hand combat for sure.
Here's why marketplaces, once you make it big, it's so hard to unseat them, because it is so stinking hard to build a marketplace.
It's very hard. You build those moats around your business, and it takes somebody else 3 or 4 years to kind of build it, if they even can. So it's tough.
As a founder, Gene, how do you decide, okay, we have this platform, it's working, now let's go into the mobile space? What kind of factors were you weighing to figure out, hey, let's start building an app for this too?
So in the nature of, we started this, 7.5 years ago, and, not everybody had a smartphone, it was, there were flip phones still. And so, but you just kind of see the trends, and, when you see a guy begging for money on the side of the street, and he's got a smartphone, then that the cost of those things are going down, if not even free. So, you kind of see that mobile shift, and that you have to design something, you have to build something that is mobile. And I'd say that's about 90% of our user base is mobile.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, you get some great ratings on the app stores, so congrats to you. And so I'm like, oh, wow, this is great.
Probably some bad ones in there still. But,
a little bit. But that's awesome. Well, let me take a second right now. I want to thank my first sponsor. So guys, I've been talking a lot about this. If you're looking for growth, Gene talked about it with the SEO side. So if you want SEO for the app stores, then go check out App Radar. They're a completely free tool that will give you all the keyword data You don't need to do backlinking here, Gene, but all the keyword data to figure out, hey, what should your app title be? So GreenPal / lawn care, for example. They're going to give you which ones have traffic, lawn care, landscaping. And then you get to figure out, okay, these are the keywords that I really want to target in my app title, in my subtitle, and then maybe some of my keywords if you're talking about iOS, or my description if you're talking about Google Play. Their free plan gives you over 200 keywords, and it beats some of the paid plans out there. So Sensor Tower, Mobile Action, tools that I've talked about in the past, they're all paid, but App Radar, you can get signed up for free. You can track your keywords. You can track your downloads. I've been doing that for a few of our clients right now too, and a few of our apps, just kind of figuring out daily basis. I get an email that says, hey, here's what your keyword ranks are, and here's how your downloads are performing. And for one of our clients, we've seen some really good results too. So I knew it because of the email from App Radar. Go check them out. It is appradar.com. Sign up for that free plan. And then in that little chat, do me a favor, let them know you heard it on this podcast. So Thomas from App Radar knows it was me that sent you there. But once again, it is appradar.com. All right, Gene. So when you're talking about growing organically and sort of doing this hand-to-hand combat, talk to me about like what worked. Like, why did you continue to do that? Because now that's year 5, right? Like 5 years of doing hand-to-hand combat. Like, what were some of the advantages? What were some of the disadvantages of doing this tactic?
Yeah, some of the disadvantages were just time. It just, to launch a market, it would take a month. One market, you have to have a certain amount of vendors in the area before you launch a market, and it's tough. The upside was you get to talk to these people. You get to explain the expectations. You get to explain how the app works, why things are done how they are, and stuff like that. But it was certainly limiting our growth. Now we're launching basically one market a week. And we're adding about 20 to 30 vendors a day as opposed to 20, 30 a month. So the disadvantage is, just the time it takes. And I'm getting older, so I don't want to be texting vendors deep into my 40s. So we knew we had to shift to adjust to our growth potential, and it seemed to work out really well.
Well, Gene, happy birthday! I know you just celebrated your birthday a week ago, July 3rd, the way we're recording this. But is it fair to say that it was like 5 years of figuring out what the machine would look like? So the last 2 have been just like, hey, we got a machine. We know how to launch a city a week. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, the first 2 years, I don't even think we did a solid transaction. We actually ended up rebuilding our app because we paid somebody to build it. And as soon as they finished building it, they went out of business. So we literally had to start from scratch. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things that it takes time, but you don't want to launch anything and it not work or it be very, very confusing. So we certainly did take our time. Wouldn't make the same mistake again. But it's certainly learning, and we're rocking now.
That's just it. I'm sure we'll get to this towards the end of the episode when I ask you about a lesson that took you the longest to learn. But that's what I'm feeling too. Is like, hey, everything, you can figure it out. Yes, everything's just a lesson. It's part of the experience. It's part of the journey of being an entrepreneur. So on that topic, Gene, I know you said that you always knew that you wanted to be an entrepreneur. You came from a household of business owners, but after getting your MBA, you joined the corporate world. Like, what made you finally leave and say like, hey, okay, I'm ready to do this on my own now?
Yeah, so I actually had to do both for 5 years. So I had a corporate job during the day, and then at night on the weekends, work on the startup. And the corporate America is not so bad. It just doesn't give you the ability to kind of do what you want to do. The money's okay, you get comfortable, and then you turn around and you're 60 and you're like, what have you done? But I knew that I had a higher purpose, and felt that I wanted to help as many people as possible, and I knew that if GreenPal was able to hit a certain transaction per week, then it would be time for me to quit. And when we hit that goal, I put in my 2 weeks notice, and that was it. So a lot of months that no paycheck came in, but that's kind of given in the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, that's such a great story. The fact that you stuck it out for 5 years and did this on the side, sort of hustling It's very inspiring, Gene. Like it's kind of crazy because most people you hear like, they're passionate about a project. They start it. This was me back in the day, like, oh yeah, this is my side project. I'm going to do this, right? Oh, this wasn't working. I'm going to stop it. But the fact that you stuck with it for 5 years and then felt like, hey, I built this big enough now that I can finally leave. Congratulations. That's very, very cool.
I appreciate it. I mean, there's you don't want to say it, but there's a lot of sacrifices that you make, with starting any business. I mean, you miss out on weddings, you miss out on relationships, you miss out on things, and basically my 30s. So but seemed to turn out well so far, and I learned a lot on the way, time management especially.
Yeah. And
things are good.
How did you manage that time? I mean, tell me about your background. Are you married, kids?
No, single.
Nice.
No kids, no anything, no dog. So you have a lot of time in the day if you don't waste it. I mean, you've got 8 hours that you do your regular job. You get 6-7 hours of sleep. That leaves you with 7 or 8 hours, and how you spend that is up to you, and that's kind of what separates some people. And so I just didn't stop for 5 years, and at some point I knew that I couldn't do both, and if I was really passionate about this, I needed to go full time, and that's what I did.
That's so awesome. I know one of the things I used to do was go into work at like 7, right? Yeah. And then I would do 2 hours of work before my real work, and then boom, go straight into it. And that helped out a lot. And I think, Gene, you hear people like, oh, I just don't have enough time. One of my friends, really good friend of mine, because I would start all these little side projects while in college. He's like, dude, how do you have all this time? I'm like, bro, everybody has 24 hours, man. I just make time to build all these silly websites together, all these little projects. And so like people who say like, I don't have time, like, yo, you do have time. You just got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. My dad told me maybe 25 years ago, I don't remember, but he's like, there are 3 8-hour days in 24 hours. Pick which 2 you want to work and you'll be successful.
I love it.
And it rings true.
One of the things I started doing was waking up at 5. We just went to Europe, and we came back, and I was jet lagged, and I would wake up so early, but then I would get work done. By like 9 o'clock, Gene, I'm like, man, I feel accomplished. Like I can go to sleep right now. I'm feeling like I got a lot of crap done. And so I've kept up with it, and I'm feeling great. And so that's why I'm starting to plan like sort of these podcasts towards the end of the day where I'm feeling a little bit tired, but talking to people like you, like that energizes me. And so I'm like trying to structure my day for maximum energy, brain power in the morning, and then talking to people, which gives me energy in the afternoon too.
Yeah. No, you got to find out what gets you going, and use that as your motivation. And what I do if I'm at the office and I get tired, I have a little piano that I play. It kind of rejuvenates my brain. I'm like, okay, I got to finish this out. So little things like that you can also just kind of trick yourself into, hey, I've got 2 more hours, I can make it.
That's awesome. So what's next for GreenPal? You got some upcoming plans that you want to announce here?
Yeah, so we want to be in all 50 states by the end of 2019. Pretty sure we'll hit that goal. Our big, hairy, audacious goal is just to be the default way that homeowners look to find lawn care. We want to be that brand that, like, I'm just going to take an Uber. Just go to GreenPal. So that's kind of where we want to be. Dabbled in maybe getting into some snow removal and stuff for the winter season. Kind of a different type of business model, but I think it can fit nicely into our portfolio. So. At the end of the day, we just kind of want to be the default place for landscaping professionals to run their business, and also for homeowners to find, schedule, and pay their lawn guy.
Gene, I really love your story. What's been like the proudest moment for you?
Oh man, there's a few. Having to hand crank and manually talk to all these vendors and texting, and you kind of build a relationship with a few of them that have kind of been on your platform for 6 years. And the greatest gratification is when you get a vendor that sends you a picture of a new mower or of a vacation that they have with their family, and they say, this wouldn't be possible without you. That's why we get up every morning and try to crush it. It's just for that reason. Like for the homeowner, yeah, it's fantastic. You can literally pay anybody to mow the lawn, but for somebody to say, hey man, you've really changed my life that's why we do it.
I love it. Once again, it is yourgreenpal.com or search for GreenPal in the app stores. Gene, before we hit the big finish, I do want to thank my last sponsor. It is, you guys all heard about it if you've been in the app space for some time, adjust.com. Look, they are the mobile analytics attribution platform. The one thing that I talk to my clients about is, hey, Steve, how effective is this campaign? And I say, I don't know. Do you have attribution installed? Do you have analytics installed? Because you need to know where your traffic's coming from. How are they doing within the app? Because sometimes you might be paying a high CPI, but that user could be a really awesome user who's going to subscribe, who's going to pay you some money. So yes, you might be paying a little bit more for this user, but they're actually doing the things that you want them to do. Whereas this cheap user is not doing the things that you want them to do. So you're not going to figure that out unless you have an attribution tool in place like Adjust. And Adjust, they're going to combine all of this. So you don't need a different platform like Google Analytics and something else. You can do it all in one, and they're going to allow you to do some of the marketing and really figure out what type of marketing campaigns you can put together. They're going to give you all that data in a nice, easy to read type of dashboard. So if you're looking for that all-in-one type of inclusive attribution and analytics platform, go check out adjust.com and definitely use the /appmasters so that they know I sent you. But once again, adjust.com/appmasters. Gene, this has been absolutely amazing, but let's go to the big finish. Besides GreenPal, give us an app that we should definitely check out.
Ooh, an app that we should check out. Calm. Meditation app. Love it. I've been a meditator for about a year, and
Nice.
the Calm app is one that got me hooked and has zenned me out. So highly recommend the Calm app.
You look like you're in LA. You're from LA.
I wish.
What's your longest streak on Calm?
I'm sorry?
What's the longest streak you've done in Calm?
72 days.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had like 100 something that I broke, and I was like, oh crap.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. It sucks though. I was like, I totally
know,
forgot.
like you traveling was what got me.
Yeah.
Like I was traveling in a different time zones. Like, oh man, should have planned accordingly.
Yeah. What's a lesson that took you the longest to learn?
Oh, consumer behavior. When we first started GreenPal, we literally let homeowners schedule lawn care whenever they wanted. This was bad for a few reasons. Last minute they would add an appointment. The vendor wouldn't be able to get to it, so the homeowner would be upset. So after about 2 years of that, we knew that we were going to upset some people, but we didn't allow homeowners to get on our app to schedule one-time service. It's either weekly or bi-weekly. That took the hardest. It took the longest time to figure out that, hey, we want this type of customer. We don't want the one that schedules once a month. So that customer behavior was probably the longest thing that took for us to figure out that, hey, to keep the vendors happy, they want to make money. They're going to make money on a recurring service. So that was the toughest.
Love it. The app, once again, is GreenPal. Go search for it in the app stores or go check out yourgreenpal.com. Gene, if the audience wants to follow up with you personally, say thank you for coming on. You want to send them anywhere else?
Sure. I'm at Twitter at Gene_Caballero. Same on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. Well, Gene's Twitter profile will be linked up if you check out the show notes to his name. So if you just click on his name, it'll go straight to his Twitter profile. But Gene, congrats. Congratulations. I love the perseverance. And thank you so much for your time coming on and doing this.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Thank you all for listening. We'll see you on the next chat.
Thanks for listening to the App Masters podcast. For show notes and amazing app marketing content, check out appmasters.co.